Do you just feel like your upper back is tight? Are you stiff like at the end of the workday or after, sitting and driving or being on your computer? Most of us are, right? And there's an anatomical reason why our upper back and mid back get so stiff. So I'm Dr. Morgan Riggins. I'm a physical therapist at OPAL Movement Therapy. And today we're going to go over our 4 favorite mobility drills for the thoracic spine. And we're going to talk about why does the thoracic spine get so stiff and how can we incorporate these mobility drills to help not only reduce stiffness, pain, and problems in that area, but also to prevent problems going forward. The spine is made up of 3 areas. We have the cervical spine, aka the neck, the thoracic spine, or basically your upper and mid back, and then the lumbar spine, or the low back. And the thoracic spine is anatomically designed to have more stiffness than the neck and the low back because it has the ribs coming in. So there are more bones and joints in this area, and that's going to occupy motion and space. And so it's important because the rib cage houses all our very important organs, but it also means that this mid-back area of the spine is more likely to be stiff. When this area is stiff, we have to move more above in the neck and below in the low back. And so having good thoracic mobility is important for everybody, but it's especially important if you're having neck or low back problems or shoulder problems. So as far as the movements the thoracic spine is designed to do, it's designed to be able to round or flex and to curve or extend, side bend like so, and to rotate. It has a lot of rotation, and so we need it to be able to do all of those things, but because a lot of our day-to-day activities can stiffen it up, we need to have ways to get it moving better. And everybody's body is different, and what kind of motion they're used to and what kind of fitness level or how much mobility they've been doing needs to be taken into account. So we're going to go over our 4 favorite thoracic mobility drills, but they're each different, and we want to make sure that you feel good about incorporating one that's going to work well for you. The first drill is the friendliest. So this is something that the majority of people are going to be able to do, even if they're dealing with an injury or pain, so it's just a really nice starting point. You're going to be on your side. You're going to give yourself a nice pillow so you have your head supported. You're going to bring your knees up to about 90 degrees. That's going to help me kind of counter curve lock my low back so my low back can't get involved. I'm going to stack my hands. We call this a thoracic windmill. So I'm going to slide my top arm forward, and then I'm going to make a big windmill motion. And right around here, it starts to feel kind of sticky in my chest, shoulder, and a little bit in my mid-back. I just come down, and I'm going to do a circle in a range that's comfortable. I don't need this to be painful. It's okay if it feels kind of bittersweet, kind of tight, but I'm just going to make another circle. When it gets kind of sticky here, I can take a deep breath in and exhale on the way down. And that can be helpful to just allow the lungs to expand and mobilize that rib cage a little bit. I'm going to roll so you can see it from this side. My spine, my mid-back is right in the center. I stack the hands, I slide it forward, big circle, and you can see I'm kind of opening up that mid-back like the spine of a book, and then coming down. And it's okay if it feels kind of tight, but it shouldn't be painful. If it is, then do a smaller range, or this might not be the drill that you start with. I like this one though because it doesn't require kneeling on all fours, it doesn't require equipment, and it's pretty darn friendly. But that being said, different strokes for different folks. The next friendliest one is going to be the hip swivel. This one does require kneeling, and so if that's a problem, you might want to stick to the other one or some of our future drills. But this is a hip swivel. It's also very friendly. I'm just stacked on all fours like a coffee table. Nice and easy, I'm sliding my feet left and right. And I'm going to turn so you can see my spine a little bit. As I fishtail my feet back and forth, you can see my spine side bending left and right. It's just kind of fishtailing. And so I'm getting gentle side bending motion in the whole spine. If I want to get more movement in that thoracic spine, then I need to gently side bend from the top down. I almost imagine that I have my nose on a plate and I'm going to slide that plate to the left and right to meet my feet. And so now when you look, you can see how I'm getting a little bit more curvature through the middle of my back. Now with this, you do have some wiggle room. You could relax your chest down and have more of a hollow curvature of the spine. If that's more comfortable, you might feel like you can get further. It might feel good. If that's uncomfortable, then you could just stay in neutral, or you could even round it a little bit and see if that's more comfortable there. We are all about feel-good movement, so you may need to adjust that based on what you are feeling. Now, number 3 is going to be really friendly. This is a popular one. It's called cat-cow. Cat-cow is in that same position, but we're going to be moving through flexion and extension. And I'm a big fan of easing in, especially if something's been tight. We don't need to like rocket launch into the furthest range of motion ever. If you've been at meetings all day, you might need to just start with like little baby curve, baby round. And then as you do it, you'll start to notice you can relax a little bit more into the movement. This is moving my entire spine, and so I have to think about it if I really want to get my mid back. I have to think about rounding, and then I really have to think about relaxing my chest. Like I can drop my low back, but I also need to open up my chest and drop my mid back into that. Ooh, it feels good, but it's kind of like we haven't been there in a while. And so it takes me a few reps to be able to get that full mobility. This is a really nice one because it's moving the thoracic spine in flexion and extension, whereas the hip swivel was more side bending. So that's 3 of the 4 directions. The other one that we really like is for rotation. So I like this with the foam roller because it will guide me, but I'm on all fours. I rest my hand on the roller, and then I'm going to think about rotating head, upper back, middle back. And then it gets tight, so I come back. So I'm rotating head, upper back, middle back, and I'm not forcing it. I'm not cranking on it. I'll show you from this view. Nice and easy. I'm not just punching the arm. I'm really thinking head, upper back, middle back, and then right here I run out of room, and then I come back. And I might do 2 or 3 reps on one side, and then do the other side, and it's not uncommon to feel like one side is tighter. This feels a lot I have way better mobility this way. Interesting. So this feels a lot smoother. And I might do a couple rounds and then switch sides again. And so with those 3 that we did, hip swivels, cat-cow, and thread the needle with the foam roller, we hit all of the motions that the spine's able to do. That being said, some of us may not be comfortable kneeling on the knee, and that's why we have the thoracic windmill version. And this last one would be doable too. I do this one last. It's my favorite, but sometimes when this area is particularly stiff, it can be uncomfortable and it might be too much. So I wanted you to do all those other drills first, and then you could try this. And some of us may be fine doing this first. My back is okay if I go straight to this one, but if it's a day where it's really stiff or it's kind of borderline painful, I might start with one of the other friendlier ones. And so this one is called thoracic extension on the foam roller. You're going to place the roller perpendicular to the spine. It can be a long roller or a short roller. You're going to place it right between your shoulder blades, and you're going to have your feet on the ground so your low back is supported. You're going to cradle your neck. This part is important because what we're going to do is I'm going to relax over the roller and try to basically make my upper back more concave or conform to the shape of the roller. And if I don't support my neck, then my neck just tries to do the whole movement. See how my chin is sticking up? Now my upper back doesn't have to move at all. So instead, I'm going to hold down low on the neck, not the head. Down low, I'm going to look down a little bit, and I'm going to keep my chin near my Adam's apple the whole time. Now, do you see how I don't go as far? But it's because it's not my neck moving, it's all in the upper back. And I can come up out of it and then relax onto it again. I might get some pops and clicks, and that's cool. That kind of tells me I got motion in there. And then I can move the roller up a level, and I can do the same thing at a new level. Typically, as you move higher, it moves even less. So just be careful not to start really cheating and using your neck, because then you're missing the goal. I can also move it a segment lower and do it down here, but I'm not going to move it lower than my rib cage because this is isolated to the thoracic spine. I don't want to do it down my low back. It won't be comfortable at all. And this is something that it only takes, 30 seconds to kind of move through those designated areas, like between the shoulder blades, up a level, below a level. You might be able to get one more, but we're staying in that thoracic spine region. Let's recap. 1, all humans need thoracic spine mobility to have normal spine range of motion, upper body strength, healthy shoulders, healthy necks, healthy low backs. And a lot of us are doing things day to day that lead to this area stiffening up. Also by design, the thoracic spine is stiffer than the other areas because it has the ribs coming in. So we should all be doing something on a daily, weekly level that benefits this area. Last but not least, everybody is different. Everybody has different mobility, different goals, different pain levels, different injuries. So we need to have a variety of ways to get at this area that works for you. So we have the thoracic windmill on your side. It's the friendliest. Then we have on hands and knees, hip swivels, also friendly, cat-cow, thread the needle with the foam roller. And then last but not least, we have the thoracic extension on the foam roller. You can try them all and kind of pick what works. And then as always, if you have questions, please reach out. We work on this concept and the thoracic spine every day in the clinic. I've seen 4 patients today and I've worked on this with every single one. That's how common it is. So here are a couple tools to get you started. If you have questions, please leave a comment, we'll answer. If you like this video, hit like and go ahead and subscribe to our channel. We post every week. And then if you have more questions or you have, specific concerns about these in your body or your history, please book a call with us at our website. You can book a discovery call or you can text and email this number and we will make time and meet with you for free just to chat about what's going on and see if we can help.